Hey there, Jenna here, travel advisor for couples who crave adventure. And I'm really excited to announce some of these Black Friday escorted tour deals that are going on right now, and you can get them if you book by December 5th. So I feel like the tours, the guided vacations are really overlooked by a lot of people. And I can understand thinking that, it's super structured and, you feel like you're on a fifth grade field trip and you don't know who the people are and you don't want to be stuck in a bus with a bunch of strangers. But this is one of the best ways to see a lot of the world, different countries, different cities, and not have to worry about the plans or the details or where am I going or how are we getting to this place or trying to figure all that out. This is a wonderful opportunity to really explore the world without any stress, and all I have to do is worry about fun. So, for most of these tours, you can save up to 15%, and there's only a $200 per person deposit, which means you can deposit it now, you can travel in, 6 or 8 months, and worry about the payments later as long as you book by December 5th. So you've probably not heard about many of these companies if this type of travel is new to you, but we have three companies, well, three brands all in the same company, and they're just different styles of travel. Trafalgar is by no means on the low end, but it's definitely for your family, your everyday type of person. Insight Vacations is a little more luxury, and then Luxury Gold is a little bit more high end. So it just depends on the type of travel you want. They're all incredible companies who really know what they're doing. So like I said, this is the type of travel for the people who want to get out there, they want to explore. Maybe they're not sure how to do it on their own. Maybe they don't know the ins and outs of traveling in a foreign country. Maybe the language barrier is a little bit scary. Maybe the method of transportation, do I take the subway? Do I take a bus? Do I need a rental car? What the heck do I do to get from, Paris to London or to go around France? Like, how do I get there? So this is a really great opportunity to be able to explore the world without having to worry about all those details. So why a group tour? Why an escorted tour? Why might this be the perfect type of vacation for you? Well, you're able to see more of your destination when you are not worried about how do I get from here to there? When do we need to leave? What does our timeline look like? How much time am I going to spend standing in line waiting to get into the Roman Colosseum? You can see way more of the destination. You also oftentimes get VIP access. You get to skip the lines. These tours have been in these countries for decades, if not, going on 100 years. So they're very well known. They know the ins and outs. They know how to get you to the best places at the best times without wasting a lot of time waiting on your vacation. They have handpicked accommodations. Again, these guys have been doing this for years. They know where to stay. They know where the best places are. They know the best accommodations based on the price point that you're looking at. A lot of meals are included. Breakfast is almost always included. There's always a welcome reception and or like a departing reception. So you get a big group meal together at the beginning of your trip, at the end of your trip. You get to meet your fellow travelers. You get to kind of get to know each other. There's some lunches are usually included, but they like to leave time for built-in flexibility. So not only is there open time in your itinerary for you to have hours to explore on your own, there's also time, it's not like you need to be back at a certain spot for every single meal every single day. They have flexibility built in so you can go and wander off and go find a cute little, bistro for lunch, or you can go and find maybe a high-end restaurant in the middle of France for dinner, whatever you're looking for. You're also able to support locals. So a lot of people kind of get burnout or just kind of have not a great idea towards travel in some of these big tourist areas because it kind of ruins the vibe. It's kind of like when you're in a small town community and all the local shops lose business when the big box stores come in. It is not like that. There are so many wonderful local and family owned businesses who depend on these tour operators because we go and we visit them. You might go to Italy and you might visit a family vineyard that's been operating for 400 years. And because it's an exclusive access, then not everybody who, travels to Italy would even know to go to this place. You get inside tours. You get to See how they make wine. Maybe you're baking bread with a local family who's been on this farm for hundreds of years. And that type of business is so important to their economy. So you're really helping the locals, you're helping the small businesses because these big tour operators have people on the ground in those cities and they know where the local spots are. So instead of getting stuck in those tourist traps where everybody goes and it's crazy busy, you're off and you're in the local spots, you're in the country, you're seeing how people really live and you're experiencing their life and you're helping support their economy. And there's also no worries, there's no responsibility. You get up when you're supposed to get up, you pack your bags, you get in the bus, and you head off to your next place. No worries, no stress. All you got to do is be where you're supposed to be, and that's about it. So who is the type of person who enjoys these type of trips? If you are an adventurous spirit, if you want to just go out and explore and meet new people and see as much as you can see and get as many experiences in this life as you can as possible, this is definitely for you. This is great for couples. If you just want to go out and you want to explore, but you don't want the stress of planning at all. If you're a solo traveler, I just chatted with somebody the other day. She said, I love to travel, but my friends always flake on me. So this is perfect because you can travel in a group without needing to put the group together. And oftentimes, the type of people who choose these vacations are so similar anyway that you create really amazing friendships and you might become, lifelong travel buddies. These are for people who are social travelers, who love to meet new people, who want to meet the locals, the type of person who can go into a pub in Ireland and just strike up conversation with the locals, and in 20 minutes you become best friends. This is also amazing for groups, not only if you're a solo or a couple wanting to join a group, but if you have your own group, then we can customize things. We can make your own group itinerary. We can get great group discounts. So this is amazing for those people who maybe it's a hiking group that you love, or maybe you're wine enthusiasts and you want to go to Italy, or you want to go to France, or maybe you're foodies, or maybe it's religious group tours and you want to go to Israel and Jordan and you want to see the best of the best, but you don't want to really have to plan it all because you're not quite sure what to do. This is also amazing for young adults. There is a company that we'll get to here pretty soon where they only do travel for 18 to 35-year-olds. And they even get more specific within that niche of 18 to 35-year-olds. So if you are early 20s, if you've just graduated high school, if you're in break in college and you want to go traveling, but you don't want to get stuck with a bunch of weirdos, you don't want to be with a bunch of old people, you can get on these trips that are strictly for young adults where you can meet some amazing friends and have a great time. And for the people who are young at heart, just because you are in your 60s or 70s does not mean you're not adventurous, does not mean that you're not a fun person to go traveling with, and does not mean that you wouldn't enjoy these tours. So these companies have a ton of different types of itineraries, which is really helpful to kind of narrow down which one is perfect for you. So they have the city explorer type of itinerary where you uncover the secrets of a single city and you unpack usually just once, and you get to see the icons, you get to see the local hotspots. So in this instance, we're in France. You have a few days here and there, but really, so you have 7 days really. You're based in Paris, and you can see the different places you'll go. You go to Normandy, you'll go to Monet's garden, but you stay in Paris. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but you're going to stay in Paris all 7 nights. Your transportation's taken care of. Your tickets are taken care of. They will give you everything you need to know so that you can kind of venture out on your own in your free time and know where you want to go. So a city explorer is really great if you want to just kind of hang out in one spot and find and visit and experience everything that there is to do in that one spot. We have country explorers. So maybe you really want to dive deep into all of France, not just Paris. So for this one, we're looking at New Zealand. So you can uncover the rich depth of one destination. There's less time traveling. There's more time exploring. There's icons, there are hidden gems, but there's a little bit more traveling. So you can see in this one, you start and end in Auckland, but you spend 2 nights up north in the Bay of Islands. So you're still in New Zealand, but you get to see a little bit more of the area because you're hanging out in a couple different cities for a few different nights. We also have the regional explorer, where usually it's 2 countries or more spread out over 1 country, but it's in a specific region. So you get to see the diversity, you get to see the culture of the region, and you get to kind of learn a little bit more. So this one's in Costa Rica. You start in San Jose, you spend a couple nights in the national park, then you spend a night in, I'm not even going to try to pronounce these names, but you can see where you spend one night, then 2 nights, and then you end in Liberia. And this is really great because you don't need to figure out all this transportation. You don't need to figure out where you're going to stay. You don't need to figure out, if I want to see all of Costa Rica, I don't just want to hang out in San Jose. I do want to see that volcano at Arenal. I do want to, meet the locals and get into the jungle and really explore it. You don't need to figure all of this out. You can just say, ooh, this looks fun. You get to San Jose and they take care of the rest. All you got to do is worry about your flights. Then we also have discoveries. So this can be multiple countries. In this instance, we're discovering all of Hawaii. It's a sample platter of the best highlights, and you really get, it's like the regional explorer, but more in depth in the discoveries. So this one, you're seeing almost all the Hawaii Islands. As you can see, your internal flights are included. So your flight from Oahu to Hawaii to Maui to Kauai is all included. And you'll get to see the highlights of all the islands. And this is incredible. If you want to go to Hawaii, but you have no idea which island you want to do, I have a lot of Hawaii bookings and people are not sure which island is best for them. And they're not always too excited about doing a Hawaii cruise. So this is a great in-between where you can still see all the islands, but you're staying on the island, you're not staying on the cruise ship. And maybe you do this and you decide, oh my gosh, I loved the big island of Hawaii because there's so much to do. There's so much nature. There's so many different climates. There's so much to see and do. So I want to go back to Hawaii for a week, and then we can plan that out. We also have family experiences. So this is an incredible way to get your young generation not only interested in travel, but interested in other cultures, different countries, interested in history and bringing that history to life. So they have family experiences that are great for multi-generational groups too. Maybe you want your grandparents and yourself and your children to all go on this big vacation, but where the heck can you go where everybody's going to actually have a fun time? Theme parks are great for the kids, but it can be a little bit exhausting for the older ones. And I think we all know when we go to a vacation and we are like, dude, the kids are going to be so bored. What the heck are we going to do with this? So this is a great mix of everybody's interested. There's fun, hands-on activities designed for all ages. I mean, if you're going to go to England and Scotland and Wales, who the heck would not enjoy playing nights in a castle? I mean, if you're a kid, that's incredible. I would absolutely love that. So this is a really great compromise for the families where everybody kind of gets what they want. And again, you don't have to worry about coordinating everybody and the transportation because it's all handled there. And if you think about this, so one thing I've noticed that gets people kind of caught up on not wanting to do this is because of the time on the road. Well, if you consider that you're not driving, you don't have to know where to go. You can hang out in this beautiful air-conditioned coach bus that has Wi-Fi, and you can look at the sights, or you can be reading a book, or you can be chatting with your new best friend that you met on this trip. So it's not like it's a road trip where you have to know where you're going and you have to drive, because the drive itself is part of the vacation and you don't have to worry about any of it because you are not the driver. Okay, so those are kind of the highlights of those three brands that I mentioned. And now Contiki is the brand also within the same company that does the 18 to 35-year-old travel, and they have a few different ones within this realm as well. So they have specific travel styles for gap year. So the difference here is that everybody who's doing a gap year trip has to be between 18 and 22. So it's not like you're going to have some 32, 33-year-olds on these trips. These are definitely geared towards those who just graduated high school or are in their summer, break of college and they want to go traveling. So imagine traveling to Germany, to Europe, to Africa, to South America with a group of 18 to 22-year-olds who are all adventurous just like you and making tons of friends and fun memories. So this is an amazing gift for graduation, for college, for, it's Christmas time and I kind of want to give you something, but you don't need anything. You're about to graduate and you don't need anything, for your apartment. So let's give you a trip of a lifetime. And as the parent, you don't need to worry because you know their itinerary, you know exactly where they're going to be. You know they're with a group of people and you know they're with a company who's been doing this for like 60 years. So you can send your young one off to England, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, and not have to worry one bit that they're not safe. They also have adventure styles. So this one is Namibia, I believe, national parks, just for that type of person who's super adventurous, super outdoorsy, and wants to really, really explore the world as authentically as possible. And then we also have city explorers. So if you want to go to New York City, but again, even the thought of going to New York City can be very overwhelming. Where do I stay? Where do I go? What's transportation like? How do I see everything I want to see without wasting all my time in a taxi and traffic? So they have city explorers. So you can do LA, you can do New York City, you can do Paris, you can do London. Lots of really amazing options where, again, you are basically unpacking once, but you really get to explore the best of the city and get that inside view and just see it from the local perspective. And then finally, the last company in this, or the last brand in this group of companies I'm going to talk about today, is Brendan Vacations. And they are the go-tos for authentic Celtic vacations in Scotland and Ireland. Gorgeous pictures. Yes, on the top left, that is the Harry Potter train that you can actually go on a ride on if you were so inclined to. You can see beautiful castles you can actually stay in, beautiful scenery, local, sheep farmers and all of that amazing stuff. And Brendan Vacations is the way to do an authentic Scottish or Irish vacation. So these guys are a little bit different and they're really exciting, and I'm going to tell you why. So they do have guided tours, the escorted tours, just like the other brands do. And those are really for those who want the joy and the wonder of travel without any of the hassle. It includes your travel director, your driver, transportation. It also includes your airport transfers, which is wonderful. Unique accommodations, authentic meals, and the must-see highlights. And for this brand, you're going to save 10% if you book by December 5th. But not only do they have the guided tours, they have several options. If you're the type of person who wants to be able to explore on your own, you'd rather just rent a car and go wherever you want to go, but you still want the guidance and the support of locals there on site who can help you make the most of your trip. So the first one they have is the locally hosted rail. So if you are the type of person who would love to go on a train ride across Scotland, this is absolutely for you. So you'll have somebody greet you at the destination along the way. So you get, and this is very, very customized, you get your choice of experiences and activities that you can see at your own pace. You get a welcome meeting with a local host and an access to a team of local experts, which means you can contact them. You can ask them, where should I go? What's the best thing to do? This is what I'm looking for. Where would you recommend that I find this? Hand-selected accommodations for any budget, fully customizable itineraries that include daily breakfast and the airport transfers. And you do get a standard rail ticket for every destination. Of course, you can always upgrade. And the really good thing about this is that train is the most popular transportation in Europe. It's the easiest way to get from point A to point B. They're super fast, they're super efficient. You do need to porter your own luggage to go to and from the station, but you do have somebody who will greet you at each station so that you know that you've arrived, you know exactly where you're going next. If a train is not available, then you will get a private chauffeur, and you can mix and match property types, which means, yes, you can actually stay in a castle in Scotland or Ireland. And for these types of trips, you will save $200 per person. Okay, the next one is a self-drive. So imagine the flexibility of having a rental car with the support, the structure, not even the structure, just the support of having people there on site to help you know exactly where you want to go. So if you are someone who values independence, you want the adventure, but you want the convenience of having somebody there by your side, this is for you, because you will get a Hertz rental car with Wi-Fi, again, hand-selected accommodations, your choice of local experiences and sightseeing. You can do this all at your own pace, but you do have access to the team of local experts who will help you make sure that this vacation is exactly what you dreamed of. It is a fully customizable itinerary, and you do get daily breakfast and airport transfers. And there is a preferred list of sightseeing activities, which means you get the best of the best at their amazing rates. And again, you can mix and match property styles so you can still stay in a castle while you're over there. And these next two are pretty exciting. So the Lux Self-Drive is if you want more VIP experience, but still that freedom to change plans and do everything at your own pace as you want. So this is a luxury Hertz rental car, so with Wi-Fi, hand-selected accommodations, choice of exclusive experiences. You get a welcome meeting with your local host and you access a team of local experts. Still fully customizable itinerary, daily breakfast, airport transfer, and you can book activities around crowds, which means you are not waiting in line. And if you are a golfer, you can pre-book tee times for a golf vacation. And oh my goodness, if you're a golfer, you need to go to Scotland and Ireland because that is like the birthplace of golf and it is absolutely beautiful. And on these, you will save $250 per person. And then finally, we have the private chauffeur. So if you want that flexibility of having your own car, your own vacation, but you don't want to drive because you're not quite sure how you would drive in Ireland or Scotland, or because you just want to enjoy the ride and not have to worry about where you're going and all that, you can do the private chauffeur. To get the private chauffeur, you get Wi-Fi enabled luxury vehicle, you get luxury accommodations, you get still that team of local experts, and your chauffeur can take you wherever you want to go, give you recommendations. I mean, they live in these areas. They're absolutely the best go-tos for where you should do. Daily breakfast still, airport transfers, and these are great for groups up to 200 people. So if you have a group and you would love to go to Ireland or Scotland, but you don't want to kind of worry about all these details, this is absolutely for you. And your chauffeurs, like I said, can offer recommendations for restaurants. They can give you stories. They can just be your great go-to person. And of course, they can take photos for you. And also with these, you can also pre-book tee times for golf vacations. And you will still save $250 per person on these private chauffeurs. Okay, so that was a whole lot of information and just kind of a brief overview of these different brands of escorted tours so that you can go on vacation, you can know everything is taken care of, you're not worrying about the details, the only thing you're worrying about is how many bags do I need to pack and tell me where I need to be. So if you're interested in these, you can shoot me a text, you can send me an email. If you visit jennatravels.com/Black Friday, you will see more details about a lot of these itineraries. You can click on them, you can see what dates are going, you can look at the prices, and always, contact me when you're ready to book.